Good afternoon and welcome to yet another edition of ANM-er. And today we have with us Archbishop of Kolkata, Kolkata diocese, Father Thomas D'Souza. Welcome to our show, Father D'Souza, and a very difficult time. Thank you for your time, Father.
You're welcome, welcome.
And this is a period where a lot of things are going on, and we are facing a very uncertain future. I have with me my colleague Monisha Mondal also in the show, and together we will be chatting about a lot of aspects surrounding COVID-19 as well as our lives surrounding COVID-19. So, for the first thing is a big question that has arose all over the country, and people are all questioning about it, is that we were going pretty okay. Then this religious congregation took place, and then suddenly it went beyond control to a certain extent. And again, the government of India and some state governments are trying their best to control it. So, Father, what is your message at this moment as a religious leader, not only to your community, but to members of all community? What is your message at this point?
My message would be very simple. We, the Christian community, we have been following the guidelines given to us, especially because of the special situation. And all should follow the guidelines because they are for protection of ourselves and others, so that we all remain safe and are protected from this. The purpose is for one's own life, lives of others, and therefore all, irrespective of our religion, irrespective of our faith, all must follow the guidelines given by the government in this regard, and we must follow them with generosity and understanding.
Yeah. Father, you had Easter.
Yes.
And by the way, a very happy Easter to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, and this is a big occasion for your community, and not only for your community, for people across secular India. But we have seen a lot of restraint during this period, whereas in certain other occasions we have seen things not being able to be controlled. Why do you think, Father, is there some kind of a lacuna here? Was there some kind of an understanding? Was there some kind of division in ranks? Why do you think that suddenly this happened?
I don't know the reason. For me, it's not for me to find out what the reason is. But I can tell you the fact that for us, this has been a very unique experience, the first experience even for me and for so many of us, that for Easter as well as other Sundays, we could not go to the church and our churches were closed, and we had to stay at home and celebrate Easter from home. For the spiritual benefit of our people, we used to have these religious celebrations streamlined from here, live streamed from here, and the people have benefited from that, but they were in their own homes. So this was a very unique experience, I might say, for all of us. Now, I'm sure this is the experience for all who are indoors, who stay put in their own homes, etc. But in all this, we must see how best we can fight this COVID-19. And whatever measure we have to take, we must take that with seriousness and cooperate in this. So it is not just a measure to be taken, but it's an obligation also on the part of all to help one another, to help the government in this, to fight this. It is a very big challenge for all of us.
Rome, Vatican, other places of worship all over the world, especially Italy has been very badly affected, France has been very badly affected, Spain has been very badly affected. Yeah. So now all your brothers and sisters outside in foreign land, they are also in, the whole world is badly affected. So do you connect with them? Do you have anybody telling you the kind of situation that they are in their country?
I mean, nobody is telling us. We see that and we read about it, and we are aware of it, what's happening. In fact, all the Easter and other times, the Holy Father, Pope Francis, has been all alone in a way in the Vatican. You must have seen that that whole event 27th of March, for example, I was walking up all alone in that night and to pray for the entire world. So we are aware of what is happening. It is not that we are getting news and so on. It's everywhere. All know about it. The papers gave, the television, everywhere it is seen. And we are following that, but we are all united in the same struggle in prayer. At the same time, in struggle of people. Losing so many people is not easy. So many have died. Really say about 20,000 people have died in Italy altogether. Or 20,000 is a big number. So we are very sad about that. And everywhere, even one single life is a cause for sorrow. So all this, we are following this with great sorrow. But at the same time, as part of the whole humanity, we also are there to suffer with them and with all those who suffer everywhere, all over the world.
So your colleagues outside in state of West Bengal, in different parts of West Bengal,
Yes.
How are they at the moment? Are you in communication with them? And anybody stuck anywhere out of West Bengal, they have to come back to the state or come back to Kolkata. So is there any way you're waiting for them or getting the hold of the government, sending feelers to the government to help them bring them back to Kolkata?
Not directly. I have not heard of any such incident as such. But then maybe, here and there, people who have been traveling or people who have been working somewhere and so on will come back. But we haven't had any special news as such that people are stuck and therefore we had to go to the government for assistance, especially to bring them or to relieve so on. We haven't had any like that. But there may be isolated instances, possible.
Your colleagues in different parts of the state,
Yeah.
how are they?
Colleagues means the bishops elsewhere,
Bishops and your
priests and so
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, their own places, wherever they are, as far as I know.
Okay, they are all fine.
Yes, so far. I mean, they're also staying put wherever they are.
Okay.
The lockdown,
No.
following this up, following this in their own place.
Absolutely. Now coming to you manage several very well-known schools in Kolkata. St Xaviers, St Lawrence, Don Bosco. Now, what is the policy? Now, everything has gone haywire at the moment. So, as the head of that entire body of schools, what is the next step? What is your advice to the parents and the students?
Yeah, I must clarify one thing. I'm not directly, in the Catholic Church, we have different congregations. For example, the St Xaviers is run by the Jesuit fathers, Don Bosco is run by the Salesian fathers, and other sisters, their own congregations and so on. And some schools come directly under me, so on. So we have the system, but we all belong to the same Catholic Church. So that said, the schools and so on, as far as I know, have to remain closed till the end of June, according to the government circular. And the school will have to decide on its own. I suppose you can't open school before that. That is one thing. Now, in this process, when will the holidays, the summer holidays and so on be? For each school, they decide, and they will tell the parents about that. And about other things, the details of each school and about the academics of it and so on. I mean, the school will decide. Each society in charge of the school will decide. They have the management board, the governing board, and so on, and then they will let us. See, I as Archbishop, I sort of am the head of the Catholic Church here. But in our system, the Catholic Church, you have, as I told you, different congregations. But we all the Catholic Church, the Archdiocese of Kolkata. But all the other details of each school, they decide. They have the management board, and they will decide.
So basically, next there will be a meeting of that, and then they will take a decision as to the next course of action once the lockdown period is over.
I suppose. Yes.
Before that, the meeting, of course, cannot be held.
No.
And the state government has mentioned that June 10th is the date after which schools can reopen. So obviously, it's taken for granted that most of the schools, if they reopen, will only be after June 10th.
I suppose. Yeah, it's taken for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. And Father, then what is your advice at the moment to the parents and the students?
Well, my advice is follow what your school is telling you. Because I heard some schools are also giving this online lessons and so on and things like that going on. All schools may not do that, and the parents want. So we have to wait till the schools reopen. Until then, keep the children certainly busy, but in a good way, constructive way. Because this could be time of tension also, because they can't come out and children so much energy and all that. And therefore, there's a lot of give and take and understanding and the family remaining together. So all that has to be done. There are so many programs are being proposed while at home, creativity and things like that. And also going through some lessons and in whatever form. So all that I suppose will have to be followed. And so we have to accept the situation as it comes and make the best of it. And once the lockdown is over, I'm sure things will improve, and we pray for that. That's why we have prayer always that the situation improves, and we be delivered of this coronavirus COVID-19.
Absolutely.
With continuation to this question, I'll ask something, which is what will be your message to the general people? Like, everybody is not listening to what government or the health authorities are telling them to follow. So what will be your message to them?
I mean, my message would be, please follow the directives given by those who are telling you, who know about this, and the in charges, whether it be from the government side, healthcare, the doctors, and so on. We must follow that. We must follow that for one's own safety, safety of the others in the community. Because it's not something that you can block by a barricade, because this can just pass on from person to person. And therefore, to control it would not be easy unless we all cooperate. We must cooperate.
Even we are following it today. So
always,
during the interview,
I'm very strict.
So we have kept a lot of distance.
Basic this thing is social distancing,
yes.
And that creates a lot of this thing. Maintain social distancing.
But on the other hand, you must also not forget the poor people. There's so many poor are affected. We speak about social distancing, but I know in small houses, I know how they're managing that, or in shelter homes for the poor people and so on. I don't know how that is being followed. It's not easy. And poor people, I'm very happy that so many NGOs along with the government are helping the poor people, either by giving dry rations or cooked food, community kitchens and so on. And that's a very beautiful work. The community comes together, society comes together to help those who are poor, especially at this time of crisis.
Have you taken any measures or helping people?
Yes.
So
We also have our own social service society. We have our Seva Kendra. We call it Seva Kendra. So through that, we help in different areas of the archdiocese, and we also join hands with those who help in any way, wherever possible, etc. So all of us have our share also in reaching out to the poor, because that is a very major concern of our.
Will you share some experience during whatever you are doing to these poor people?
See, for example, I'm not doing directly, from here. Then we also have what we call Interfaith Foundation, Foundation. There also, we have been to places where poor people need to be helped and so on. We distributed again dry rations, etc. We in the Catholic Church, we have our Missionaries of Charity Sisters, and sisters have been going to Howrah side, Tirupur side, Tangal side, in so many places with the slums especially, and with the help of the police and their requests, etc. Again, giving out food and distributing was required, etc. So number of families. Our own parishes in different areas. Parishes are also taking initiative in their own areas wherever they can reach out. So that was my main directive to all our parishes or our priests. So see whom you can reach out in your own area. Don't go too far immediately, of course, but to immediate neighbors who are there. To reach out to them, and if there's extra help needed, you can't manage that, so we have Seva Kendra, inform the director and so on, and then we organize. For example, they have been also helping some truck drivers who stranded in near Bangladesh border, for example. It's also come under our area, no? We have a vast area. So there also they have been helping those drivers to their dry rations and so on, and all that. Plus those clubs here near Tangra, a number of people. Plus it's a huge area. So wherever possible, reach out and do that. Some people are happy, I must say. There's so many poor people. So we must help. This is the time to stand together and help, especially those who are.
Very, very difficult period right now at the moment, both not only for to save life but also economically. I mean,
Yes.
It's a very, very economic struggle that's going
Right.
to come forward, come up in next couple of months and few months now.
Right.
So I have two small last
Yeah,
questions.
sure.
Number one is that A, do you as an individual favor online classes? A. And B is, now that we are going to face an economic situation, there's going to be an economic situation worldwide, and India is also going to face it, and every one of us is going to face it. Do you think there's fee hike? Is there any this thing for fee hike, or is it necessary, not necessary, or whether at least this period there should not be any fee hike? These are two questions that I have.
Yeah, first question, your online classes. I do not know whether there are all facilities for everyone to have this. I don't know. It may be of help, especially when students cannot go to school or college, and therefore with a proper understanding and so on. It is a good thing to make good use of the time, as well as not to leave one's home and to go. But of course, we miss also a classroom situation. That also has its own unique advantage of being together in a group and things like that. And otherwise, you're online, you're alone, no? And here, and therefore, it has both its pros and cons. Maybe we are not so used to at the moment, maybe for online classes. But with this COVID-19 and the situation created, people are slowly getting probably introduced to it. I don't know, I haven't done any study on this, so maybe they introduced to it, I don't know. But certainly a group, a classroom situation has its own advantages for the better, for the development and interchange of or exchange of ideas and learning, that's one. Secondly, about the hike in fees. See, in our schools, fees are collected because we have to pay the teachers. In most of our schools, we do not get any government aid, and therefore we have to collect fee dependent on fees. And therefore, very recently, it has been the 6th pay commission that was to be paid, the arrangements were made and all that. But now suddenly this has come. Now, can you raise the fees as they were asked before? It was already arranged. Some schools have even announced, because this was all decided before. And keeping the situation in mind, maybe you have to have a rethink of this, on this. And the government also has issued a directive in the department on this. We haven't had any meeting as such. But it is not only you can't hike the fees, but you have to pay the teachers because of the 6th pay commission. That also doesn't go. So therefore, both have to go hand in hand. If you can't hike the fees, you can't pay the teachers also. According to the pay commission recommendation, they're going to see the old way we used to pay the teachers. So that also is there. So we have not taken decision as such, but I feel in this situation, as you say, the whole economic situation will be down. And there must be taken into consideration how, in what way, that are decided by individual schools or the management of boards of those schools, and inform the parents accordingly. Because we have to consider the parents' situation in this regard. Certainly, we have to be sympathetic to all.
So I have a small question.
Yeah, sure.
different from this, which is for the first time, I think, ever during Easter or this long period of time, people cannot go to the confession box and confess their, whatever in their heart. So, what will be your suggestion to them during this period?
See, I mean, we when we cannot have this, we call the sacrament of confession, we cannot have it this time. So, we can't have. But we also believe that the Catholic Church teaches that when you cannot go to confession, that means you meet a priest and mention all your sins, your life to him, and he, in the name of God, in the name of the Church, he absolves you all your sins and so on. There's a whole way in procedure in the Catholic Church. And then when you cannot go, the Church says, you make what you call the perfect act of contrition. It simply means, you're very sorry for all your sins, and therefore you ask God to forgive you, and you want to come back and once again be united with God. So with that deep, perfect contrition, and your sins will be forgiven. Yeah. But with the condition that when the situation becomes normal, you receive the sacrament of confession. Go to confession. So the condition is there. Condition is there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Father, that was a very candid discussion we had on a variety of subjects with you.
Right.
And it was amazing that we got to listen into a lot of stuff. And especially, I'm sure, a lot of parents would have really loved to listen to the kind of things that you mentioned, because as far as I know, most of the parents or most of children, they study in all these 3 major schools in Kolkata. They're all looking forward to it, and of course, difficult time, difficult measures are to be taken.
Yeah.
So,
but once again, I would like to tell you, the individual schools will decide that with their boards, so
absolutely.
on. We have not had any sort of major
meetings. It is not the period to have a meeting also after the lockdown period is over. So, on our behalf, we want to wish you a very safe stay, and stay secure, stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you.
On behalf of all viewers and on our part, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and I thank you for taking the trouble to come here and have this nice conversation on a variety of things, subjects. But we must stand together and follow basic rules that are there with the needs of everyone, and go ahead. May God protect us all, and especially look after the poor.
Thank you, Father. Thanks. Thank you, and that was Father Thomas D'Souza with us, and in a very, very candid conversation with me and Manisha in ANM News. Stay tuned. Keep watching ANM News. Thank you very much.